Trump is a genius at that, at getting people to vote against their own interests, because most of his support comes from poor people, from frightened people. They're frightened racially, they're frightened sexually, they're frightened of social and economic and technological change that has swept across the Western world and certainly the United States in the last half century, and an accelerating rate in the last 20 years. These are the people who support him, and the way to arouse their support and hold it is to feed the fear and feed the anxiety and create imagined enemies out there. Many journalists, when we're talking about, and critics talking about my work lately, have noticed that, have asked me the question, would your characters support Donald Trump? And I say, yes, probably most of them would vote for Donald Trump. And they say, well, how can that be? Because I really like your characters. And so I have to go to that. Well, so do I really like my characters. And so do I really like the Trump voters as human beings. And I grew up among people who we would call Trump supporters today. My family, my aunts and uncles, my cousins, my parents, all these people would be today, if they were alive, and some of them still are, Trump supporters. And I like my family. Most of them are born-again Christians, evangelical Christians. Most of them are Republicans, right-wing Republicans. But they're decent human beings, and they're struggling. And they're struggling, in a sense, without historical self-awareness, without awareness of themselves in the larger systems, economic systems, social systems. They aren't aware of and conscious of the forces that are shaping and manipulating them and controlling their lives. And that makes them even weaker than they are to begin with. So it isn't, as I say, an ideological or programmatic commitment to it. It's a matter of the human heart. My human heart beats for these people because I know them intimately, and I know how frightened they are and how inadequate they feel against the forces that surround them. I think that's what drives it more than anything else.